Hello YouTube. This is the D.B.T Gamer Show, episode 80, part 2. Today I'm reviewing Conker'S B.F.D for the Nintendo 64. Now, if you haven't watched part 1, you've missed absolutely loads. I've always talked about the story, the graphics, the music, the controls, the music, the gameplay, and some of the good stuff about this game in part 1. I've also showed off some of the levels in this game in part 1. Now, let's pick up where I left off. I'm just about to show you some more levels. I'm just about to leave the dinosaur world, which I talked about very briefly in the last part, so let's go through a level. Give me a second. Okay, now, this is back at the spooky level now again. The spooky level of the game is quite creepy. Several things that you have to do in this level. You also meet up with a vampire who wants to drink your blood, and you also get turned into a bat. And you have to carry villagers off to him and make the bat drink as much blood as possible, then destroy him. There's also a lot of key collecting in this level, and this level is also really hard. This is also one of the levels that involves an insane amount of shooting. You'll get a shotgun at your disposal to blast the hell out of zombies. Although zombies can be quite kind of tough, and they can kill you quite quickly if there's too many of them. Let me just show you the final level of the game. Okay, here we are at the final level of the game. The war level. The war level is a very hard level. It's probably one of the hardest levels in the game. It is the second to last stage, although there is one more stage after this, but the stage after this is really short, so I always call it the final level. Now back to the war level. The war level is a very hard stage, and it's also a very violent stage. It's a very war zone sort of atmosphere. That's why they call it the war level. Most of the level involves lots of running around and shooting. You have two Uzi machine guns sort of things at your disposal, and you can blow the shit out of. Guess what? Mutant teddy bears! I told you these things aren't cute and cuddly. They want to take over the world, so you've got to kill them. And the war level is also quite funny. And that's basically all the levels in the game. Now let me talk about some of the bosses in the game. I'll just show you one, so you know what they're like. Give me a second. Okay, it's one of my favourite bosses in the entire game. This is the Mighty King of Pooh. Whilst you fight this guy, he'll also sing at you. It's a very, very funny boss. It's one of the best bosses ever invented by Rare. The boss itself is quite hard. It's rather difficult to defeat. There are several other bosses in the game. One of them is a giant robotic haystack. No, I'm not kidding you. A robotic haystack. God, Rare thinks of some crazy stuff. Another boss is a giant caveman where you have to bite his testicles off. The last boss of the game is really unexpected, but I won't spoil it for you unless you haven't played this game before. And most of the bosses in the game are quite difficult, and they're also extremely funny. And that's basically all the good stuff I'm thinking about this game. Let's go to the bad stuff. Okay, now before we go into the bad stuff about Conker'S B.F.D, I also wanted to talk about the Xbox version. Now, a few years ago, when Nintendo and Rareware split up, Rareware went up to the Microsoft company and also remade Conker'S B.F.D. They remade it and called Conker'S B.F.D Fully Live and Reloaded. I think that's what they called it anyway. And the remake, it's pretty much the same as the N64 version, but they censored most of the swearing. Example, words like shit, bastard, prick, they censored it all. So, the Xbox version isn't as funny as the N64 version. So if you're going to play this game, my advice, get the N64 version because it's way, way funnier, and it's also better. Anyway, now let's go to the bad stuff about this game. Oh, because the game is so awesome, there isn't really that much to complain about. So, I only have 2 complaints for this game. My first complaint is that the energy bar that you get is a little bit too small for me. The game is extremely difficult, and one of the main problems is that the energy bar is too small. You only get 6 hits, well 5, and then you hit once while you die. I'd really like it if Rare put a system in so you can actually extend the energy bar at certain points in the game. So, the energy bar can be a bit small. And the other thing about this game is that it's the hover move. In the game, if you press the jump button once, then press the jump button again while you're in the air, you can also spin Conker'S tail around like a propeller so you can hover for a while. The hover doesn't really last that long. The hover lasts about 0 to 5 seconds, which is not a very long time. I'm used to hovers lasting about 5 to 10 seconds, but this lasts 0 to 5 seconds, so it's a really, really short hover. And sometimes it's barely even enough to actually get you to the place where you're trying to hover to. So that can be a bit frustrating as well. Anyway, let's rate Conker'S Bad Fur Day for the N64. I give Conker'S Bad Fur Day for the N64 a 4 out of 5. So it's a really good Nintendo 64 game, much better than the remake, and it's definitely well worth buying. It's a really fun game, and you will laugh your head off no matter how many times you finish it. Really, really awesome game. So it gets a 4 out of 5, and it's well worth buying. Now my next review will be a Yu-Gi-Oh! Film themed review. I'm going to review Yu-Gi-Oh! Nightmare Traveler for the Nintendo DS. But I'll save it for next time, you two. Until then, bye-bye.